Packing your bags, COVID and stuff aside, and you're gonna go and head to your first boat job. Let's do a little walkthrough from start to finish. So you're gonna turn up, you're gonna land, let's say maybe on an island or in another country. You might come by taxi, one of the crew members might pick you up, but nonetheless, you would have flown in and now you're gonna be stepping onto the boat for the first time. Take your bags, shoes off, and now you're gonna head on board. When you step onto the boat for the first time, you're going to be going to the crew entrance, and your crew entrance is always going to be on the port side. Reason is, guest entrance is on the starboard side, of course. So on board Bella, crew entrance, and then you would make your way through into the crew area. Now, you may find that on the boat you'll be stepping onto, you're going to have an in and out board. You're also going to have a muster list. This is one thing that I highly recommend you spend a little bit of time checking out. It's one of those items that, let's say we're going to go for deckhand. It's going to give you an explanation of all your duties. So understanding your responsibilities for a muster list, pretty important. Realistically, I'd say 95% of the people that step onto a boat will never have even heard of it and won't even know. So if you're stepping on and go, what are my duties for, on the muster list, they'll be impressed. One of the other things that we do when it comes to stepping onto the boat for the first time, I normally give everybody a fire safety plan. And then I'm gonna ask you to walk around the boat, go into every single cupboard, lockers, doors, and I'm going to go have you find fire extinguishers, fire blankets, smoke detectors, and all that sort of stuff all around the boat. Best way to go, and if you want to try and figure out where you are on a boat and get the lay of the land, taking a fire plan and walking around and finding all that sort of stuff, it's a pretty good way of doing it. And once you're on board, you're going to be heading through and heading straight to your cabin, where you will most likely be sharing with a friend. You didn't know they were a friend, but they will be very soon. Crew mess is the one spot on the boat that you have to go and relax and chill out. Now, that doesn't mean like you're at home where you can just go put your feet up and be stinky and sweaty and just be all nasty. It's a communal space, and it's respected as a communal space. So when you're in this area, in this crew area, you leave it the way you found it. So if it's sparkling and spotless and absolutely amazing, then you're going to leave it that way. Dishes, knives, forks, all that sort of stuff, you either have a dishwasher like we do, which is pretty lucky, or you're going to be washing your own dishes. And for those that love their coffee, don't get too spoiled. It took me a long time to get my hands on an espresso maker. You're on the boat, and one of the first things that people are going to explain to you is watch. Watch is a responsibility that every single person on the boat will undertake at some point. Typically, it's anywhere between 1 to 2 times a week. It could be as little as maybe once every couple of weeks. It just depends on how it falls. And really, it's a security thing more than anything else. Insurance typically for yachts dictates that somebody's on the boat 24/7. So you have one person that is sober, and that is a key part, as if there's an emergency situation that something happens, you will be the person that is responsible. You can get on the phone, you can call someone, you can call the fire brigade and try and get emergency services to the boat. So watch, what does it entail? It's a 24-hour period of which you personally are going to be responsible for the boat. All right, so what are the responsibilities? Firstly, waking up before your watch, which is before 8 o'clock in the morning. And that's going to mean you're going to need to go in, turn off lights, possibly unlock a couple of doors, but you're also going to walk around the boat. You're going to check lines, fenders, the passerelle, and just have a quick look, make sure everything looks normal, and then you're going to be putting the flag up for 8 o'clock in the morning. Now that's on my boat. That's what I'm asking of people, but you'll find that will be fairly typical of a lot of other boats as well. It's the end of the day, everybody's knocked off, so what are you going to be doing next? All right, so what we typically do is I'll have all my watch keepers go around and lock basically 95% of the doors. If they're not being used and no one's going in and out, those doors don't need to be open. So we'll go and lock all of those. The only thing that will be left open will be typically is going to be the crew door. Anywhere between 5 o'clock and 6:30 p.m. dinner will be put out for the crew. It'll be your responsibility to clean all that up. Clean up this entire area. It's going to mean some cleaner, a rag, and some good old elbow grease. And you're going to go through this entire area and you're going to clean it. You're going to clean couches, you're going to clean the table, you're going to pack things away, you're going to put sauces away, you're going to vacuum. You're even going to get down, and in our case, we've got a little crew fridge. You're even going to get down into that crew fridge and you're going to pack it up with sodas for the evening. So flag goes down at sunset, not 1 minute after, not 1 minute before. And then just before you're about to finish off your watch, which will vary. Sometimes it's 9 o'clock, sometimes it's 9:30, 10 o'clock, it depends on the boat. Once you're finishing up your watch, that's another walk around the boat. So it's going to be lines, fenders, passerelle, walk around, make sure all the doors are locked, and then you can come inside, lock your door, and you're off to bed. Now I do know that on some boats, you will have a watch phone, and alarms and things will be coming to you for that evening or for that day. Alright, so what are some of the things that I shouldn't be doing on watch? Well, one, you shouldn't not be on the boat. You need to be on the boat. You need to be near a phone. You also need to be near somewhere that you can hear the alarms, you can hear the calls, little bits and pieces like that. Because if you're not and something goes wrong, and there's alarms and all that sort of stuff going off, most boats will go into a full alarm system, whereas you have a horn outside, you've got bells, whistles. It gets a little crazy and it's just not cool. So if you're thinking you can kind of sneak off, not likely. So crew etiquette. 1, try and hold your farting, sneezing, burping and all the gross stuff for outside. You are more than welcome to do it, just not in your cabin and not in the communal areas. Sound like a plan? Good. 2, you are not allowed to bring people on the boat. Now, that's not to say that you can't. What you can do, if it's a good, say maybe it's a family friend or one of your family, typically if you ask in advance, we'll be more than happy to, unless you've got security or other protocols that you have on the boat that don't allow you to bring people on the boat. But just bringing on random friends, or let's say you meet that special someone and you want to sneak them onto the boat, sure, it'll get you fired though. I'm serious. What are other ones? Oh, laundry. So when it comes to laundry, underwear inside the underwear bag. It's there for a reason, so the girls or the interior team don't need to handle your stinky, smelly drawers. Same thing with socks, going underwear bag. Everything goes into a laundry bag, and before you start your day, laundry bag goes into the laundry where your interior team will actually clean it and put it back in your cabin. Isn't that nice of them? So how does my day look, Luke? I'm going to be working on a yacht. What sort of hours am I expected to do? Well, that's a great question. Typical for me, not necessarily across the industry, we start work at 8 o'clock. That's not you walking out of your cabin at 8, that's you on deck ready to go at 8 o'clock. So if you're ready for say 7:30, you can have breakfast, you can do whatever you want, but you're ready and you're working at 8 o'clock. We have a little tea break. Varies anywhere between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, depending on the boat. Lunch, and you'll find this is across the board. It is always 12 o'clock. Not 1 minute before, not 1 minute after. It's going to be at 12 o'clock. And I can tell you this much, after 17 years of doing this, my stomach knows when 12 o'clock is coming. It's scary. All right, after that, some boats, it depends on the boat, will have an afternoon break. We have a small one at 3 o'clock, and then you have your finishing time. With your working day, you also have watch, and you combine the two of them together. So that means you'll be working through the day, and in the evening, you're going to be sitting on the boat whilst everybody else is going out, and you're sitting there watching Days of Our Lives and getting complete FOMO. It's real. It's not amazing, but you learn to love it. Not Days of Our Lives though. All right, so there you have it. Your first day stepping onto the boat. Now I know it's really short and sweet, but once you remember that when you step up onto the boat and it's your first day, be cognizant of everybody. I normally find that going in like a super energetic mad bull in a china shop type of deal when you step onto the boat for the first time probably isn't the best way to go. You've got to remember that everybody's been traveling and everybody typically has been doing this for a while, so they're normally at peace with themselves, and when someone comes in and rattles the cage, which sometimes happens, it actually happens more often than not, it just takes a little bit of adjusting on all parties. So just give everybody a little bit of extra time to adjust to their new crew member, you, and you can go from there. As always, I hope I got to show you just like a little bit behind the scenes. I know it's only short and sweet, and I am working on trying to get you some more information slowly, if not surely. I also like the idea of being able to share some of the stuff that we do on a day-to-day basis. And not everything I do is going to be correct in the eyes of some people, because they have their own way of doing it. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt. But at the end of the day, I am going to try and show you something that's worthwhile and hopefully a little bit entertaining, and you can get something out of it to see what it is that we do when our guests aren't on board. I'll tell you this much. There's a boat over here that has a dog, has a little yappy one. And it just reminds me that you never hear dogs like that in marinas. Either that or it's been a really long time. So, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that concludes yet another episode of me talking into a camera. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it beneficial, possibly educating. And if you've got any questions, just drop them in below. If you liked it, smash that like button. If you hated it, or if you didn't like it, push the whatever that one is, the I don't like it button. But most of all, subscribe. And for me personally, if you can share it and let people know about my channel, maybe we can grow it, maybe we can turn it into something pretty awesome. Because I do enjoy doing all this sort of stuff, and I love interacting with people, and I love sharing my ideas and thoughts with people, but I also love hearing back from you guys and hearing people get jobs and hearing people really just start moving forward and excelling in this industry. Because it's a fun industry, it's pretty wild, it's different. It's kept me entertained for 17 years, and there's not many things that have done that. But till next time, this is Bella, and this is me, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Have a good one. See ya. 'Cause it has been too long since I got any sleep. Yeah, it's been a while since I've gotten some time just for me. Yeah, I need some time.
So turn